Just pointed at there, I think it's a chat. Can you put the presentation up, please?
All right.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect, right? I leave it to you.
You're right.
So introduce yourself and also talk loudly against people.
What? Insurance. What do you think?
Good, go ahead.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I stand here today not just as an advocate, but as a woman whose life was rewritten by unexpected circumstances. So 20 years ago, I was an able-bodied independent woman with life moving forward at full speed. Then in one moment, a traffic accident brought everything to a halt, and I had to start all over. I found myself not only navigating disability for the first time, but also rebuilding my life in a small rural community where charity rather than rights was often seen as the only response to disability. In that place, I learned what exclusion feels. But I also discovered the strength, resilience, and potential that emerge when dignity and rights are recognized. It is in this journey that has shaped my conviction in the African Disability Protocol, not as a policy instrument on a paper, but as a lifeline for women like me and for thousands more across Zimbabwe. So my name is Senzeni Mutevedzi. I'm the founder, director of Disability Network. I'm working here with Site Servers, and I'm going to be taking you through empowering inclusion and advancing rights of women with a disability through the African Disability Protocol in Zimbabwe. So,
Gosh.
we are going to be looking at empowering inclusion, advancing rights of women with disabilities through the ADP in Zimbabwe. It is first of all important for us to realize that empowering inclusion is a critical initiative aimed at advancing the rights of women with disabilities in Zimbabwe through the African Disability Protocol. This protocol serves as a comprehensive framework to ensure that persons with disabilities, particularly women and girls, are not left behind in social, economic, and political spheres. The introduction sets the stage by highlighting the importance of inclusion as a fundamental human right and the role of ADP in bridging gaps in policy and practice. It emphasizes that women with disabilities face compounded discrimination due to gender and disability, making targeted interventions essential. This presentation will explore the ADP's objectives, the Zimbabwe's ratification process, and the implications for women empowerment. By understanding these elements, stakeholders can now better advocate for systematic changes that promote equality and dignity for all. Okay. So we are going to look at the background. Sorry, I'm gonna have to use one of my hands. All right. We are going to look at the background of the African Disability Framework. So the African Disability Framework Protocol, the ADP, is a landmark legal instrument developed to safeguard the rights of persons with disabilities across Africa. It complements existing international frameworks like the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, the CRPD, but it is now tailored to address regional challenges and cultural contexts. The ADP emphasizes quality, non-discrimination, and accessibility, ensuring that individuals with disabilities can participate fully in society. It covers areas such as education, healthcare, employment, and protection from violence for women and girls with disabilities. ADP is particularly significant because it acknowledges intersectional discrimination and mandates gender sensitive policies. By ratifying the ADP, countries commit to harmonizing national laws with its provisions, thereby creating an enabling environment for inclusion. Understanding ADP objectives and mechanisms is crucial for stakeholders advocating for disability rights and gender equality in Africa. So, right now, I'm going to take you through the commitment from the Zimbabwean perspective. So, Zimbabwe's ratification of the African Disability Protocol marks a significant milestone in the country's journey towards inclusive governance and social justice. Ratification signals a formal commitment to uphold the rights of persons with disabilities and integrity. The ADP principles international legislation and policies. This step is not merely symbolical. It requires actionable measures such as revisiting existing laws, allocating of resources, and establishing monitoring mechanism. For women with disabilities, ratification offers hope for improved access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. It is also there to strengthen the protection against gender-based violence and discrimination. So by aligning the national framework with the ADP, Zimbabwe can foster an inclusive society where diversity is celebrated and every individual has the opportunity to thrive. The ratification process also positions Zimbabwe as a leader in disability rights within the region, inspiring other nations to follow suit. Yeah. So Zimbabwe ratified the ADP. What is the significance therefore? Women and girls with disabilities in Zimbabwe face numerous challenges that hinder their full participation in society. We are talking about gender-based violence, which is remaining a passive issue, with many victims lacking access to justice and support services. Educational opportunities are often limited due to inaccessible infrastructure, discriminatory attitudes, and inadequate resources. Healthcare discrimination further exacerbates vulnerabilities as women with disabilities frequently encounter barriers to reproductive health services, especially women in rural areas. Also, the economic exclusion is another critical concern, with limited employment opportunities and systemic biases preventing financial independence. These challenges are compounded by cultural stigmas and lack of awareness, creating a circle of marginalization. And addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach, including legislative reforms, community sensitization, and targeted programs that empower women with disabilities. By tackling these barriers, Zimbabwe can move closer to achieving true equality and inclusion. So we are going to look at the challenges faced by women with disabilities. So ratifying the African Disability Protocol has profound implications for Zimbabwe's legal and social landscape. It signifies a commitment to harmonize national laws and ADP provisions, ensuring that disability rights are enshrined in legislation. This includes adopting policies that promote accessibility, equality, and non-discrimination. For women with disabilities, ratification means greater protection against violence, improved access to education and healthcare, and enhanced economic opportunities. It also mandates the creation of monitoring and accountability mechanisms to track progress and to address gaps. Beyond legal reforms, ratification fosters a cultural shift towards recognizing the value of diversity and inclusion. It encourages collaboration among government agencies, civil society, and international partners to implement programs that empower persons with disabilities. Ultimately, ratification is a catalyst for systemic change, paving the way for a more equitable and inclusive society. So, advocacy and implementing strategies. So, what are we going to do? The call to action urges stakeholders to move beyond ratification and focuses on effective implementation of the African Disability Protocol advocacy. Efforts should target policymakers to ensure adequate resource allocation and enforcement of disability rights. Civil society organizations play a vital role in raising awareness, providing support services, and monitoring compliance. Community engagement is also equally important to challenge stereotypes and promote inclusive attitudes. International partners can contribute through technical assistance and funding for programs that empower women with disabilities. Individuals are also encouraged to participate by amplifying the voices of persons with disabilities and supporting initiatives that foster equality. By working collectively, Zimbabwe can transform commitments into tangible outcomes, creating a society where women with disability enjoy equal rights with opportunities. This collaborations approach is essential for achieving sustainable inclusion and advancing the human rights. To take me